Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Asian Psycho, and we're gonna get started on the 35th, very short 35th chapter of the Exploring the Arsenal series, featuring me, Asian Psycho, aka Toast number 98. And this time, we're gonna be taking a look at I want to say our fourth melee weapon review on the Exploring the Arsenal playlist, featuring the Kukri. Now, the Kukri, a little bit of background information on the Kukri is unlocked at Staff Sergeant 1, just like the other weapons before it that I've kind of done the review on as recently, and it costs 550 GP a day, just like the I believe it costs the same as the GI shovel. So there you have it. So the Kukri melee weapon. The bit of a disclaimer on the gameplay that you're seeing right now. I am not very good with melee weapons to begin with, and especially less so with like heavy melee weapons, because in combat arms, or how I like to classify melee weapons in combat arms, is goes like this: the Kukri, the GI shovel, and other weapons that have like a two-part secondary attack, or have a very slow attacking speed. They are what I like to consider heavy melee weapons, whereas other weapons that have a fast draw, like a fast attack speed and then faster kind of attack recovery, and typically they only have like a one part secondary attack, but they have less range than the heavy melee weapons do, are called the light melee weapons. So I kind of categorize them so it makes it easier on myself when I have to think about them doing these reviews. So the Kukri is the first melee weapon that has any sort of rank requirement attached to it. So there you have it, and it is, like I said, I consider a heavy melee weapon because of the fact that it takes a pretty long time to attack with it compared to like other weapons like the M9 or something like that, and it has a two-part secondary attack. So let's get started on the stats of the Kukri. The Kukri deals a straight up 52 damage, so it is very capable of pulling off a two-shot kill, which is pretty necessary, because I mean it is a heavy melee weapon, and it's not like you can spam it like a tracker knife or something like that. Jeez. And so that's its damage. The portability is at a 70, so I believe it's the same as the GI shovel. I'm not too sure. I can't really remember off the top of my head, but portability is also not really exactly the best. Is not necessarily the best for melee weapons, but anyways, it is what it is. So. Anyways, I believe it's got to be higher than the survival machete anyway, because I think the survival machete had like a 65 portability or something like that, something along those lines. So let's talk about the Kukri itself, because I can't really talk about it in the same way as I do like other like actual guns and firearms. So I'm gonna just run down a list of what I have in mind, whatever comes to mind first. I guess I'll just talk about on the Kukri. So Kukri, like I mentioned before, is a heavy melee weapon. This means that the secondary attack is a two-part attack. Now, compared to like the weapons like the GI shovel, we're not going to compare it to the survival machete, because the survival machete is kind of like an anomaly because it's got a very, very fast secondary attack. The Kukri is similar to the GI shovel in the fact that it has a very slow secondary attack. There's quite a time gap between your first swipe and your second swipe of your secondary attack. So that might be a disadvantage, especially when you want to take out people very quickly. The survival machete is much better for that, or any other light melee weapon is much better for that. So the secondary attack on the Kukri is quite slow, so you might wanna be careful of that. Moving on to, let's see, I don't know really what really there is to talk about in terms of like melee weapons. I know I've done other melee weapons before, but I kind of want to pull up the videos so I can kind of have a list of what I can talk about. But anyways, I guess I can talk about like it's like an attack kind of what its attacks look like, because I know not many of you have ever used the Kukri before. Ooh, get castrated. And the Kukri is one of the forgotten melee weapons of combat arms, and because it's just not good. It's just not very useful, even though it is very, very, it has a very high damage. I mean, it's a heavy weapon anyway. It's a heavy melee weapon anyway. So it's just not fast enough. That's its main weakness. That's its main disadvantage. Is a very slow melee weapon. Most other heavy melee weapons, except for the GI shovel, are faster than the Kukri. So there really is no reason to use a Kukri, because it's very difficult to use. And in games like these, and like knife only matches like these, it's extremely painful using them, because I mean everyone else has like tracker knives, Don Petro swords, their regular own M9 knives, and you will get outclassed very, very easily by these other overpowered melee weapons. So unfortunately, like, what can you do? So there really isn't really much else to talk about the Kukri. It's a good melee weapon. Don't get me wrong, especially if you know your way around with it. But to be honest, there's really no reason to use it anymore because I mean, first of all, it's got a rank requirement, so why even bother with that if you're less than Staff Sergeant 1? And also, it's just far outclassed by nearly all other melee weapons. As you can see here, I'm getting my ass handed to me by these guys with tracker knives and shit. So, I mean, I was never good with melee weapons to begin with. I'm at most decent, but I mean, there's just no reason to use the Kukri. There's just no way. There's just no way you're going to be able to fight head to toe with these other guys wielding like tracker knives and shit. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and this has been a quick review on the Kukri melee weapon. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and we're gonna get started into the next rank, Staff Sergeant 2, and you guys will be in for a special treat because lots of you guys are looking forward to the P90 family of reviews, and that's coming up next. So, hopefully, you guys will enjoy this episode or this chapter rather, and the next chapter featuring the P90 family. So, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys later.
Round start. Round start. Double kill. Round start. Hey, same team. Round start. Headshot.